Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Today is May 20th, which means we're almost halfway through the year. There's about 6 months left in 2024. That is crazy. So I hope you guys use that time wisely and work towards accomplishing your goals. And that actually brings me to the topic for this week's episode. It's something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and I want to talk about the importance of rest. So let's get into it. This is Chiquis and Chill. Okay, guys. So I know it's important to work hard and to be disciplined and focused in order to reach your goals. Yes, we know that. We see it everywhere, especially like on social media, that hustling or hustler mentality, should I say. And I completely agree with that. Yes, I'm all for it. But there's another side to that, and that is rest. The importance of rest, you guys. I cannot stress enough how important it is. And I'm telling you guys from experience. And I think that that's the best place to speak from is from experience. And I think I'm going to start there before we get into everything and why I feel it's super important. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet and to the point. In 2018, I had a meltdown. I had to take a break. I think I've mentioned this a few times on the pod for about 3 months from social media. I was working a lot and I'm grateful. No me gusta quejarme. I don't like to complain about the amount of work that I have because I love to work. I love to be busy. I myself put a lot of things on my plate because now I know how to handle it, But before I was starting my music career, things were going really well. I was going through a lot personally in my personal life, and my career was doing good. I had about 76, I remember it was about 76, close to 80 shows, nightclubs, okay? And I was working a lot, and I think I was just trying, especially towards the end of that tour, which was the Aprovechame tour, I wasn't getting enough rest. I mean, especially doing nightclubs, which I'm so grateful for those moments and those shows because they helped me prepare for what I'm doing now. So I felt like that was my footwork. I really had to do that in order to grow. It gave me the opportunity to grow and get to know myself as an artist, but I didn't know the importance of rest. I was just working. And then it got to the point where I was like, I'm just trying to numb everything. I'm just trying to get through this. And I'm just going to drink. And I was drinking a lot, and I was drinking excessively to get through the shows. And I was suppressing feelings. I was obviously missing my mom. I had stopped going to therapy. I had stopped going to church because my shows were on the weekend. So a lot of these shows would start, I kid you not, around 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. sometimes. I wouldn't get off stage until like 3, 4, and then I would do meet and greets, and I wouldn't go to sleep until 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and because we had to go get something to eat afterwards, and then we would wake up and either drive to the next city or fly, and I just was not getting enough rest. And it was driving me nuts. I felt it in my skin, in my body. I was gaining a lot of weight. This is all before I figured out my whole thyroid issue, my hormones, everything. Everything was just all out of whack. So I met a couple who are pastors, Javier and Cynthia Buelna. I met them through my sister, Jackie, and she told me about them. I went to their church, and he started mentoring me, and I was just telling him how I was feeling, and that's who told me that rest was a part of my job, that it was just as important as all my shows, that I needed to speak to the team, and I needed to take matters into my own hands and take control of my career, that I was the leader, and that, yes, I had a team, and they're important, but that I had to speak up. And I was very afraid to speak up then. I was still trying to get out that whole thing of being a people pleaser. And I was like, no, I got to work. This is what I have to do. I have to work really hard in order to make it. And I just felt this immense fucking pressure. So I wouldn't speak up. I just say, okay, well, this is what I got to do. I mean, I saw my mom do it. I saw my family do it. This is how it has to be done. So when I had this conversation with him, I had an epiphany. I saw the light. I was like, oh my gosh. And I started thinking about, yes, my family are very hardworking. All of them, my grandpa, my grandma, all my uncles, my mother. My mom didn't even know how to take vacations, you guys. My mom was all about work. And even if we were on vacation, she was on her BlackBerry, texting, answering emails. And that's what I felt that life had to be until I had that meltdown. And I was like, enough is enough. I can't do this. I remember telling my assistant then, I was like, take me to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital. I felt like I needed to rest. The only way I was going to rest if I was submitted into some type of sanctuary of peace or take me to the hospital. I literally told her that. I stopped her on the freeway and I was having an anxiety attack. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I feel like I'm going to die. Like, it was the craziest feeling ever. So anyways, thank goodness for who I now call Javier and Cynthia, who I now call mom and dad. They really helped me just see things in a different way. And going back to what I was saying was, I started thinking and realizing that my family, as much as I admire their hard work, my grandpa never really knew how to take vacations or how to relax. It's just like we would wake up at 5 a.m, 4 a.m. And it was just, it's great. I think waking up, the 5 a.m. club, you guys, is great. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like there wasn't enough balance. And I started realizing that I didn't want to be that way, that I wanted to live a healthier life. I wanted to feel good and I wanted to enjoy what I was doing. And in order to enjoy it, I had to take a few steps back and rest. And I'm telling you all of this because this is why I'm so passionate about this subject. And I wanted to share it with you guys because I went through it and I know what it feels like to have a breakdown, to have, you know what I mean? And I've seen and I've heard a lot of artists that go through it as well. And I'm like, if I can help people prevent and not feel guilty more than anything, not only prevent them from having a meltdown of their own, but for us not to feel guilty. I felt guilty and I realized I was feeling guilty. I was like, oh my God, if I'm not as hardworking as my mom or my grandpa, I'm not going to be successful. And I had this like crazy ass pressure. And now I'm so much happier, you guys. I spoke to my team and I told them, guys, I can't do this. Like, I need to take a break. I'm going to take a break from everything. Like, in order for me to just see where I want this career, my singing career to go, I need to take freaking 10 steps back and reevaluate everything and analyze it and reflect. And I need to stay away from social media because I don't want to see what anyone else is doing because it gives you get FOMO. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my God, I'm not doing what I think I should be doing. You know what I mean? So I did that and it really helped me. And when I did that, I came back and I knew what I wanted. I'm like, okay, Sundays and Mondays, I want to be off. I want to do whatever makes me happy. I want to clean my house. I want to just sit on the couch if that's what I feel like doing that day. I want to freaking read a book. I want to ride a bike, anything and everything. And it's no one's business what I do on those days. And there was a little bit of like, well, Sundays are shows and this and that. Yeah, that's fine. Let's have shows Thursdays and Fridays or Fridays and Saturdays. And on Sundays, I'll be flying back and I could just do whatever I want. And they didn't necessarily like it, but I didn't care. I felt stronger than ever. I had come back and I was like, I never want to feel what I felt. And this is when I started applying rest. And whether some of my team feels that now I take too many breaks or I have too many vacations, like I don't care. I have never been happier, you guys. Even if I don't go away somewhere to a resort, I'm at home. I want to clean my house and it might sound weird, but I want to do things that bring me joy to my life, that help me feel that balance of, yes, I'm an artist, but I'm also a woman and I want to do things that make me happy. And having a clean house and washing my own clothes and cooking in my own kitchen makes me happy. And sitting on my couch watching whatever the heck I want to watch. And I don't care. Before I was so afraid of like, I have to measure up. And I'm telling you guys, even if it's a day, even if it's a few hours, I know everyone's schedule is different. I know some people work and go to school at the same time, and I commend you. I think it's a beautiful thing to be hardworking, to be a hustler, but there's a big difference between that and just chasing the rat race of life, and being stuck in it and not stopping and smelling the roses. And I mean literally stopping and smelling the roses, literally and not so literally, obviously, but like even those little things that we sometimes don't value and we don't see, those little things in life that make a huge difference. Because I was like that for a long time. I was just so focused and so honed in that I would not look around and realize, oh my God, how beautiful the trees are, or how blue the sky is today. You just little things that we can appreciate. So even like little things like that, that's taking a break. That's taking a breather. Getting out of the office and on your lunch break, like not being on social media, like just sitting and eating and being present. There's so much power in that, and it brings you back to you. Some of you may be asking yourselves, okay, well, how do I fit this in my schedule? Like I'm busy, I'm a mom, you can. And I don't want to hear, I don't have enough time, because a lot of us say that, oh, I didn't have enough time. No, we have time. We have to make time. Whatever is our priority, and rest should be your priority. Because if not, you're going to start resenting your job. You're going to start resenting your boss. You're going to start resenting your children, your husband, your friends. Like, it could be anything and everything. It could be, okay, I'm going to work Monday through Friday, and on Saturday, I'm going to hang out with friends, and on Sunday, I'm going to do absolutely nothing. It could be that, or it could be, I want to have an active rest day. Instead of sitting or laying in bed all day, I'm going to go take a bike ride. I'm going to go walk around. Anything to just kind of get yourself out of the reality of your job and that pressure of society. And you have to be intentional. And again, we talk about this word intentional a lot on this podcast. And someone asked me the other day on Dear Chiquis, what do you mean by being intentional? And I kept thinking, I'm like, did I explain it correctly? So anyways, I want to explain it again here. Being intentional also means doing things with intention that don't come natural to you. You know, things that come natural, or just they come natural. It's easy to do. But when you're being intentional about something, you make the space, you make the room to do whatever it is that you want to do. That's what I mean by being intentional. Like, not forcing yourself, but really being proactive and saying, I'm going to make these changes because I want to see a change, a positive change in my life. That's being intentional, living with intent, not just living to live and a ver qué pasa, let's see what happens. It's like, no, I have the key to my destiny. And every day I have choices. And if I make the correct choice and I choose this path instead of this one, then things are going to turn out better. My destiny is going to be better. That's what I mean about being intentional. So you have to tell yourself, and everyone around you needs to understand, I am not going to take phone calls. And I keep telling my manager this, Richard Bull. I was like, you really need to rest, because this guy works so much. And I've told him myself, hey, you need to chill. Like, you need to go away with your wife and just be, and F the phone and F the emails. It's okay for one day to put your phone down and just be, and not feel guilty for just sitting by the pool, tanning and having a drink. Don't feel guilty about that. So many people feel guilty. I felt guilty, and we shouldn't, because if we don't regenerate, if we don't re-energize, revitalize our bodies, that's why the doctor always says you need anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and 8 is the best, because we need our body, our cells, our brain needs the rest in order for us to be our best selves. Literally, our cells, our organs, everything, in order for our body to function and not get sick and not break down and not create diseases, rest is super important and essential. And also, obviously, taking time away from your everyday life and saying, okay, even if it's once a month, you guys, it doesn't have to be once a week. What I do is, okay, I'll work really hard for 2 weeks. And then for 2 days on the third week, I'm like, peace out, you guys. I need a break, because if not, I'm going to start resenting my work. And I don't want to, because I love what I do. And I want to go into the studio and record songs and start my tour and do it with love and be excited about it, because I'm all about working hard, and I will work hard, and I will work hours, and I will go the extra mile. That's who I am. But I've learned that if I don't take at least 2 days or a day to do absolutely nothing, or to do only what makes me happy, like the other day, I told everyone, leave me alone. It's Sunday. I'm going to go see Emilio's grandma. I want to hang out with his mom. We're going to go eat, and we're going to go walk around Santa Monica Promenade. And that's what I did. And I was so freaking happy. I had no makeup on. I put my hair in a ponytail. I put on some sweats. I was completely Janae. I took a break from Chiquis, took off the extensions, put no makeup on, and I just went, and I was just living, and I needed it so badly. And then what did I do the next day? I flew out to New York, and I was there, and I worked. As soon as I got there, the next day I was working all day until like 11 p.m. and I had woken up like at 6 a.m. And I was fine, because I was like, oh, I had a beautiful day. That fulfilled me, and it re-energized me. And right before the tour, I'm going to take a little vacay with Emilio for his birthday. And why in the heck is someone going to be like, oh, she takes so many vacations? That, first of all, is none of your business. You're not paying my vacation. And you should do it too. It doesn't have to be, I don't know, fly somewhere like to a beach or to like a fancy island. It could be in your backyard. Paradise is where you make it, you guys. Paradise is in your mind. Paradise is what you consider paradise. I'm super happy ever since I've made this change, and I and I've applied this to my life. And to be honest, in my personal life with like Emilio, right now that we're going to take these days off for his birthday, because I start my tour the week of his birthday. So I was like, okay, let me find some days in my schedule because those things are important to me, because I don't want him to feel neglected, because I love him, because he is a priority in my life. My siblings are a priority in my life. My friends are too. And I'll find some time in my schedule to say, hey, girls, a month in advance, I have this day. Do you guys want to go to dinner? Because those are the things that make me happy. And it strengthens my relationships with these people that I love. And going back to Emilio, I did this, I think in the beginning of the year, because I knew I was going to have a very busy year. And that's what I did. I said, I want to celebrate him on his birthday. And I had a conversation with him in the beginning of the year as well. And I said, hey, this year's going to be crazy. We set this whole plan. And I said, we're probably not going to be able to vacation as much as we have in the past. But I want you to know that I'm going to make it a point to spend time with you, quality time, because we've had that issue in the beginning of our relationship where it was like, I was on my phone a lot working, and he's like, hey, like, I want us to be at dinner and for you to give me your undivided attention. And I'm like, shit, I didn't even realize I was doing that. And those are things that I used to really dislike that my mom would do. And I'm like, damn, like, okay, like I want to be present. And it does make our relationship stronger. And he feels like appreciated. And that's important to me. So what I've done is like, these are my priorities. And I have literally made a list, you guys, of things that make me happy. What makes me happy? Going to church, spending time with my siblings, spending time with my partner, spending time with his family, going to dinner with my friends. I like it. I like to go and just talk and just chit chat. You know what I mean? Chit chat and just call it chismear, whatever it is. But I love to have that comadre time with my friends and have a little drink, reading a book, like anything that's important. And there's times where I'm like, well, what do I do? I'm like, I have so much time on my hands right now because I have a rest day. And then I look at my list and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can do this. I can do that. And it's helped me because those things are my priority. And those are the things that bring my life joy. And I want the people that are in my life that I love and that are important to me to know that they're important to me and to feel it, not just for me to say it, but I want to show them with actions. And I suggest that you guys do that to really figure out who are the people that I love to be around? What are the things that really bring my life color? Make a list. And whenever you forget or whenever you don't know what to do, fit those things into your schedule. Don't just work and live. And then you're like working to live and not living to like enjoy. And I feel like now more than ever, we see that everywhere. It's like hustle. Like, yes, but I also have to live. I have to enjoy the things that I'm creating. You know what I mean? Like the money I'm making, like we have to figure out a way to say, okay, like maybe I can't go on this elaborate trip, but I can take this extra little money that I have a month and I'm going to, I don't know, go to a museum. I have no idea. You know what I mean? Like anything that brings you joy, basically. That's a big word on this episode right now, you guys. Joy. Joy is priceless. Joy has no price tag. Like that's free, but we need to also find it and seek it and do things to grasp it, you know, not to lose that joy and feeding that inner child in us. You know, we all have an inner child. Like don't ignore it. Don't neglect it. And if you're listening to this podcast right now and you're kind of wondering, okay, well, Chiquis, how do I know when I'm feeling burnt out or when I need a break? I think some easy indications are when you're moody and irritable, when you are looking for Friday to come around because you can't wait to have a drink and just get drunk and forget about everything. That's another indication. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with drinking and socially drinking and having fun because I like to do that. But I have learned that I don't want to use alcohol to numb whatever it is I'm feeling or thinking. I want to work through it and like be raw with it. I want to use and drink alcohol to enjoy and to say, I just want to have a good time and I want to feel good, not to numb things. That's a huge indication. That was my first indication where I was like, shit, I'm drinking excessively. And it's because I just want to get through the show and I just want to get through the weekend and it makes everything fun. It gives you that liquid courage, you know? So that's an indication. Also, if you're getting a lot of headaches, if you feel like your head is about to explode, that means, okay, wait, let me come back to myself. Let me look inward. Obviously drink a lot of water and all that stuff. But if you're getting constant headaches and you have tension headaches, so that means you're stressed out, then that means you need to take a break. And if you can't take a break because you have a 9 to 5 or you have to work every day, like I'm telling you guys, even taking deep breaths and like stepping out of the office or out of the situation you're in and just taking profound deep breaths and just saying, okay, this is my mental break. I'm going to be fine. Like breathing intentionally, not just breathing like I'm breathing right now, but breathing intentionally, taking really deep breaths from your diaphragm, from your tummy. It clears your head. It helps you so much. That's taking a mental break. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little irritable or I'm not as like, when I don't have that pep in my step and I'm not like joyful doing what I'm doing, I'm like, okay, wait a second. Like what's going on? It could be even as easy as working out, taking a little walk, like moving our body does so much. Yes, we want to work out and look better, but more than anything, we want to feel better. And working out and just taking a little walk, a little stroll, gets your mind off of so many things. It releases dopamine and that makes you happier. So that's another indication. If you're feeling a little like your mind is feeling a little too clustered, then that means you need to work out your body to balance it out. If your body's feeling tired, then you need to work out your brain, which means like, reading a book or doing something that stimulates your mind. So those are like indications of like, okay, something's going on. I'm out of balance and it's okay because it happens to all of us. It still happens to me. I just now know, oh shit, okay, maybe I need a rest. And for a long time, I didn't know that, or I didn't know that it's a part of my job. It's a part of our job. It's a part of our responsibility. And it's part of taking care of our body, our temple that was really just lent to us. Our body is like, we got to do things to keep it functioning correctly. And rest is huge, you guys. Look it up. If you don't believe me, go Google it. Google it and it'll show you not only is sleep important, but also taking a mental break. And this is why I wanted to talk about it so much, because I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but I feel like a lot of people now more than ever, we have more depression, more anxiety, more diseases, because we have this idea of the only way I'm going to be successful is if I work 24/7 and there are no rest days, no rest days, like this and that. Like you see all that stuff on Instagram. I know you guys do. I've seen it. And I'm just like, damn, yes, you're probably going to get really far, but then you're going to get there and you're going to be like, fuck, you're not going to enjoy it. And why not enjoy the journey, the way to your destination? You know what I mean? Like, why? Enjoy it. Stop and say, wow, all right, this is nice. And keep on going. And then take another little break and then look at the sky and then walk a little bit more. There's no reason to have to run all the time. Like you can walk and enjoy. That's the easiest way I could put it, you guys. Walk, enjoy, take your time, pace yourself. Don't just like, I want everything so quick. We live in that world. If it's just like quick, 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 everything quick. I want the magic pill. I want this. I want that. Like, enjoy the damn journey. Trust the process. Take care of yourself while you're doing it. Love yourself enough to say, dude, I'm going to do me right now. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to have some self-care, some self-love. There's nothing wrong with it because you can't give yourself to anyone or to your job or to anything that you're doing if you are not aligned, if you are not happy with yourself. I say this a lot on the podcast too, but it's true. Self-care, self-love, hand in hand, guys. So with that being said, I will close our episode and hopefully something resonated with you, because this podcast is all about helping in any way possible, inspiring and empowering for you to become your best self. Whether you are a woman or a male, I am speaking to the human within you. I am very grateful for each and every one of you guys. And I love that you come and you listen to Chiquis and Chill and Dear Chiquis. And I'm just so grateful. I can't say it enough. So thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Share it with someone that you feel may need to listen to this. And even if they don't, share it. Come on, show us some love. All right, guys. Well, I love you and have a beautiful week. Kick ass and take a mental break if you need it. Remember that. There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. Okay? Let's all take a deep breath together. And you let it out. Love you. Besitos a todos. I will see you on the next episode of Chiquis and Chill. Do you need advice on love, relationships, health, y más? I'm so excited to share with you that my Chiquis and Chill podcast will have an extra episode drop each week. I'll be answering all your questions. Just leave me a voice message con todas tus preguntas y yo te las voy a contestar personalmente. All you have to do is go to speakpipe.com/Chiquis and Chill podcast and record your questions. I can't wait to hear from you. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.